I've got 6 pounds of beef short ribs, some potatoes, some garlic, and I gotta get those ready because we're gonna be making smoked beef short ribs and garlic smashed potatoes. So yeah, I'm gonna be firing up the Oklahoma Joe's Highland offset smoker tomorrow. Today, I've gotta get these beef short ribs rubbed so they can sit in the refrigerator overnight with all these seasonings. So first, we gotta get the rub ready. We're starting with a tablespoon of kosher salt, half a tablespoon of ground black pepper, a tablespoon of granulated garlic, 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, and 2 tablespoons of Trader Joe's 21 seasoning salute. Just want to get my lid on my bowl here, give it a shake. Just want to take a fork here and make sure any of those brown sugar bits broke down, not too many clumps. While we're at it, let's have a taste. Nice, sweet and savory. All right, let's get these short ribs rubbed up. So here are our beef short ribs. These are USDA choice. So we've got a nice little bit of marbling in there, and I'm just gonna go ahead and start hitting these with our rub. And these are all gonna be in a container together in the refrigerator, so the rub's gonna rub off on the other ones, but we wanna try and get everybody a good coating while they're here on the rack. Make sure you get the ends, especially these big ones. You wanna make sure they get plenty of seasoning. And again, don't forget the ends of these. There's a lot of surface area on the ends. All right, so I'm happy with that. Now these are gonna go in the refrigerator, like I said, they're gonna go overnight, and tomorrow we're gonna fire up the Oklahoma Joe's Highland. We're going to smoke these up with some hickory. We're also gonna roast up some potatoes on there and some garlic for our garlic smashed potatoes. So I'll see you tomorrow. All right, our beef short ribs have been soaking in the flavor of that dry rub overnight. In just a minute, I'm gonna get the Oklahoma Joe's Highland fired up. But right now I wanna get our garlic ready to go out on the Highland because these are gonna be garlic smashed potatoes we're making to go along with these short ribs today. I've got maybe 8 or 10 peeled garlic cloves here. They're not huge, anything like that. And I just wanna put some nice flaky salt on them. I'm just gonna drizzle a little bit of olive oil, not a lot. And we're just gonna create a package to hold this. Just like that. It's not gonna be resting over direct flame or anything. It's just gonna be sitting off to the side, slowly roasting in there as our short ribs smoke. So let's go get the Oklahoma Joe's fired up. All right, the Oklahoma Joe's running at about 270-ish right now. Really, I'm shooting for more of a temperature in the 250 range, down to 225, but this will moderate once we get all this beef on there and adjust the vents. I have my 2 water pans at the smokestack side of the cook chamber, and I have my ambient temperature probe pretty much dead center in the front of the cooking chamber. So let's go ahead and get these short ribs on. Just gonna start placing these bone side down, small ones further away from the firebox. And I'm just gonna tuck my garlic for now in the back corner here. All right, we're gonna close up the Oklahoma Joe's and get smoking. I'm burning hickory today and only hickory. I love that flavor, especially with short ribs. Good fire going, don't need to do anything right now, but I'll check it as the day goes on and add as we need to. I have the side door closed, but the damper fully open. Right now, that seems to be a good setting. So these short ribs today are gonna be going until they're tender. That's probably gonna be somewhere in the 4 to 5 hour range for this size of short rib, and the temperature I'm running could be a little longer though. As I mentioned, I'll be adjusting the vents on the Oklahoma Joe's Highland to keep us in that 250-ish range. Somewhere between 225 and 250 is optimum for me. So we'll be back out here in a couple hours to check, see if we need to spritz anything. And in a little while, we're gonna be getting our potatoes ready to go on the smoker so we can make our garlic smashed potatoes. So I'll see you back here in a while when we start getting those potatoes ready. All right, our short ribs have been going for about an hour out on the Oklahoma Joe's Highland. But right now I want to get our potatoes prepared so we can get ready to make those garlic smashed potatoes. So what I have here are 4 russet potatoes. These are medium-sized potatoes and they've been peeled. And I'm just going to cut them in half. Now let's get these in some foil. I just want to sort of arrange them there in the center. I'm going to drizzle a little olive oil on these. We're going to give them a good coating of flaky salt with cracked black pepper here. I just want to roll these around in here, get the sides coated in the oil and these seasonings. And we're going to create a nice foil pouch for these to hang out in while they're on the smoker. All right, I'm going to give this a second wrap of foil, and then we're going to head out to the smoker, check our short ribs, and get these on. All right, let's give our short ribs a look and get these potatoes on. Those are looking mighty good. Looking at these, they're looking good, but I do want to give them a spritz. This is a 50-50 mix of apple juice and apple cider vinegar. I'm going to do a little shifting here. I'm going to move these back slightly away from the firebox. Don't want them to cook too fast. And I'm going to place my potato pack right there. All right, let's get the lid closed and keep smoking. All right, let's check our fire and see how we're doing. Looking good. I added a couple pieces of hickory about 15 minutes ago. We're burning good. Nothing to do here. Let's close it up and keep smoking. We'll check our short ribs again in probably an hour or two. It's going to be several hours before they're tender, so they're just going to keep smoking. See you back here in a couple hours. All right, our short ribs have been going for about 4 hours. Time to give them a check, and I'm pretty sure we're going to put them in foil pans right now to finish up probably for a final hour. Those are looking gorgeous. All right, we're going to check for tenderness. Temperature is secondary, but let's just see how we're doing. That one's showing 193. I don't know if you can see that. And that's fairly tender, but not done yet. The smaller ones are more tender, obviously. They're looking great. This is the perfect time. We're going to get them into some foil pans. All right, I was able to mostly fit them in one foil pan instead of 2, which is perfect. I'm just going to add a little bit of water to the bottom first. Maybe half a cup. I'm also going to spritz these again with that 50-50 mix of apple juice and apple cider vinegar. Give it a generous spray. And we're going to get foil on this and get it back on the Oklahoma Joes. All right, I want to go ahead and get our garlic and our potatoes off of here, because these are going to go inside to get ready to prepare those garlic smashed potatoes. We're just going to close this up, keep these going. I'm guessing they're going to have about an hour more. All right, our beef short ribs have gone an hour in the foil pan. Let's check them. I've got nothing to complain about with the looks of these. Let's just see. Oh, those are feeling nice and tender. Probe going in and out, just sliding in and out. All right, these are coming off. We're gonna take them inside, leave them covered to rest while we get our garlic smashed potatoes ready. From time to time, I get comments on my videos saying, "You always make everything perfect. You never make a mistake." Well, I do make mistakes, but when I'm making the videos, I'm trying to make food that people would want to eat and that I'd want to eat. So I've usually made things before and the stuff's going to come out good. Take a look at the garlic I made today. Kind of got away from me. I think it went about 2 hours too long on the smoker. I shouldn't have put it on at the beginning. Should have put it on maybe an hour before the short ribs were going to come off. That would have softened it nicely. So yeah, we got some charred garlic nuggets here. We're not going to be using these. Fortunately, had some more garlic, went ahead and toasted that up in the toaster oven, just kind of softened it, roasted it, so that's what we're going to be using today. So it's out of here. So what I have here is a stick of butter that's just been softening at room temperature, and I've got a head of roasted garlic that's been peeled, and we're just going to add everything in there. We're going to take a fork and we're going to start mashing everything together. you wanted to, you could put this in a blender, food processor. I like kind of doing it like this. Just try and press those pieces of garlic down, break them up a bit. You're still going to have big chunks of garlic in this, big pieces. So at this stage right here, I've still got more mashing to do, but I'm going to add some salt and cracked black pepper. And we're going to continue mixing this and mashing. And that's looking pretty good. Big chunks of garlic, but it's been mashed a bit. You've got all the juices from it mixed in with the butter. All right, let's get our potatoes ready so we can get this garlic butter on them. All right, so here are 7 of 8 potato halves. My wife stole one to eat, but that's all right. It was a good taste test. She said they taste good just as they are, but we need to smash these. Now there's different ways you can smash these. You could use the back of a big spoon, you could use a fork, you could use a potato masher. But really what you're trying to do is smash these into one sort of piece. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna use my hands here, take one, press it down. See what you're doing? You're almost creating like a little potato pancake. We're just smashing them down. Now we're just gonna put a generous amount of our garlic butter on these. Put it right on top of each one here. Make sure everybody gets enough. Splattered a little bit here. I'm just gonna wipe that up. I just wanna spread them around on here because it's gonna melt plenty when we put these back on the Oklahoma Joe's Highland. So let's get them out to the smoker. They're gonna spend about 15, maybe 20 minutes on there. Then we're gonna bring them in and we're gonna eat these with our beef short ribs. All right, we're gonna get our smashed garlic potatoes or garlic smashed potatoes or whatever they are on the Oklahoma Joe's Highland. We're gonna give them about 15 or 20 minutes and we'll check them, but I think they'll be done by then. All right, the pit temp is at 231. I haven't added any wood in quite a while because we're just doing these garlic smashed potatoes at the end here. So let's see how they're doing. We've been going for about 20 minutes. Looking good. All that butter is melted, got a little bit of browning around the edges. I'm gonna get these off, get them inside, and we're gonna have a taste of these with those beef short ribs. All right, so here are several of our finished smoked beef short ribs. Great bark on them, as you can see. If you're out there and you feel like making a comment saying things like this are burned, this is called bark. It's the same as on a brisket or a chuck roast or anything like that. You want that crusty exterior. It's not burned, it's that development of the bark. There's a lot of flavor in here from that rub and from the smoke. But what I like to do now with short ribs like this, because you could just pick this up and eat them, but we're gonna eat them with those garlic smashed potatoes. I wanna take the meat off. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take my knife, run along the bone, and there's your bone, and then I want to slice this up. Oh, nice smoke ring. I hope you can see that there. Ended up with a really nice smoke ring on these. And I'm actually going to cut these into some smaller pieces too. A lot of juice in here. My last video I said, oh, I can wait to taste, and then I went ahead and tasted. This time I am gonna wait to taste. No, I'm not gonna wait to taste. Oh man. That was really good. I'm just sitting here hockey pucking this stuff around because it tastes so good. Let's go ahead and cut this big boy off right here. And there's still some meat on the edges of these bones here. You can eat this off. I will later. Let's go ahead and slice into here. Oh yeah. Let me just taste one of this one too. That hickory really works well with beef in this sort of application out there. Giving it those 4 or 5 hours, absolutely terrific flavor. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the rest of these up. Then we're gonna get those garlic smashed potatoes over here and have a taste of them together. All right, so here we have our garlic smashed potatoes. Lots of garlic on there. You can just smell it in the air. Our slices of these really gorgeous looking beef short ribs. And I'm just gonna dive in because it's time to taste. So first I wanna get some of these garlic smashed potatoes here. Really emphasizing the garlic portion of this. So let's see. Oh, if you like garlic, and you like butter, and you like potatoes, this is a really good combination of those three things. Very great garlic flavor in this, and the creaminess of the butter on top. Those potatoes have some substance beneath it, and the smoke that they got at the end here, really, really nice. But gosh, these are good. Now, I already took a couple tastes of the beef short ribs, so it's no surprise here, but I hope you can see just the smoke ring that developed on these. Just beautiful. And here, let's have a taste. I think these are the best beef short ribs I've made.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I just checked with my wife, and I think we both agreed these are the best beef short ribs that I've made. These just turned out amazing. Fantastic smoke ring, fantastic flavor, tenderness, juiciness. Everything came together in these. The smoke flavor of that hickory out on the Oklahoma Joe's Highland. 5-hour cook time, 4 not wrapped and 1 hour wrapped. That's not a bad investment of time to get this result. Oh. Now let's have a little bit of the potatoes with the short rib. I mean, it's beef and potatoes, but the pairing of these two things, those super tender and juicy beef short ribs with those garlic smashed potatoes, just really perfect together. Another bite of these potatoes are really awesome. Yeah, I messed up that initial batch of garlic, but I gotta tell you, I think we recovered okay. Flavor is on point with those. The garlic flavor, surprisingly, isn't overpowering in these potatoes. You would think with those big old cloves of garlic that were just smashed down in the butter that you'd have such an overpowering taste when you bite in. You don't. It was really actually nice and mellow. And what else can I say about the beef, but I wouldn't change a thing. So if you like beef short ribs like I do, they are basically brisket on a stick. If you do them like I did today, whether it's on an offset smoker, a kettle, some other smoker, give them that time, a great rub, maybe wrap them for that last hour to just enhance the tenderness, and you're gonna get results just like this. Those are just fantastic.